everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome again to another painting tutorial. Today is Saturday and I decided to paint a parrot. Okay, I don't normally paint lots and lots of bird paintings, but today I just decided to do something different. As some of you already know, I change or I shift from one subject to another. I just try to paint anything and everything under the sun as much as possible. So the colors that I'll be mentioning in this video, the colors that I'll be using for today's tutorial will be listed in the description box below as well, so that you can refer to them easily. And my canvas paper is size 11 by 14. You can choose another canvas size that you prefer, bigger or smaller, it's up to you. I'm here to teach you how to paint. I don't really suggest that you just learn how to copy. To copy my painting, I would like you to learn how to paint. There's a huge difference, or maybe you think that there's a thin line between the two of them, but for me, there's a huge difference. When you're just dependent on my painting tutorials that you cannot paint on your own, it means that I'm not an effective teacher because you just can't paint without me. So my goal is for you to be able to learn how to paint, because that's what happened to me back in 2017. I learned from other art teachers how to paint, and now I'm doing my paintings on my own. So again, the colors that we'll be using will be listed in the description box below, and I'm gonna background first the canvas paper before we proceed to sketching the bird. So we have here Sap Green, burnt sienna, primary yellow, titanium white, and black. So I'll be using black to color the background. Actually, just half of it, or 2/3 of the canvas, will be painted black. Not everything though. So I'm not actually going to use pure black as the background, but I suggest that you use your black color. The reason why I'm only using not pure black, let me just show you that. So I'm using some collection of paints that I did not allow to dry after doing my tutorial. I collected them and mixed them. I was able to get a dark color, and I'm gonna use this one to background my canvas paper. So I'm just gonna use, okay. So you can see it's not really that black, okay? But it's dark. It's dark enough for me to call it black, but strictly speaking, it's not oxide black, because it has already other colors in it, okay? Again, if you don't have this and you don't have to have this color, it's only an alternative to my black. Just use your regular black, because we'll just get the same effect, okay? So don't worry too much. I'm only using this for, I'll say, for pure economical reasons. I just don't want to waste this paint, okay? But for convenience, you can use the black that you already have. You don't have to use the same black as mine. Okay, so you can see here, I'm leaving this corner or this part unpainted with this color, because that would be the piece of wood on which the bird is seated or standing, not seated, really. Yeah, the bird is standing there. Okay. I don't want to apply too heavily, because it will take me time to dry this part, and therefore, for video purposes, I don't want you to wait for so long. Okay. Again, I hope this dries pretty quick, because the weather is quite cold today, so I might have a hard time drying this pretty quickly. Okay, now I'm gonna dab onto my white without washing my brush. Just gonna dab onto my white without washing my brush. I'm wetting it, but I'm not really washing it. So I'm gonna color this part with this color. It doesn't have to be like in a straight line because as I mentioned, this is the piece of wood on which the bird is seated, or sorry, or standing. Seated or standing, you know what I mean. The bird is there. Okay, I'm gonna add a tiny bit of burnt sienna. This is just to separate it from the black background, and this will be the wood, okay? A piece of wood. So it's good that we add a little bit of brown so that, um, it is suggestive of wood colors, okay? And I will be doing the details later. Let's just proceed with underpainting first the canvas paper so that we can proceed smoothly. Yeah, I'm good. I'm trying to make it a little bit crooked because we want that natural look or natural shape of the wood. Is my camera on? Oh, sorry. Is my microphone on? It's on. All right, I love this already. We're just starting. Okay, now I'm gonna try to paint over already the wet canvas paper using a very gentle brush, brush strokes. And I'm gonna use white to sketch the bird, okay? And just for you to be able to see the sketch against a dark background, we don't wanna use dark colors for sketching. Besides, the bird should really pop up, okay, as if it's popping out of the canvas paper. So I'm gonna use another brush, small brush, and I'm gonna dab onto my white right here. Okay, I'm pretty sure I can paint over it already. Okay, now since I'm sketching freehand, I will probably, most likely, I will commit a mistake while sketching it, and it's okay. I'm just gonna paint over the mistake if ever. So please bear with me. If I make a mistake, you will see a lot of corrections. Usually, I would really make a mistake, especially when I'm doing freehand. Okay, it's really wet, but it's okay. I'm trying to be gentle with the sketch. So this will be the body of the bird. And I know me, I tend to make the sketch bigger than it should because you see, I think I'm gonna make a little bit of adjustment. I don't know. So that would be the beak. The beak. Sorry, the beak. Okay, just like this. All right, just like that. I really hope that my sketch would fit the canvas size that I chose for this one. Because again, I tend to do a lot of big paintings. So I'm used to doing big sketches, not small ones. But I'm working on it. I try to be a little more controlled when it comes to sketching. Okay, so I'm gonna have to be more really controlled. Okay. Okay, I think I will have to make a little bit of adjustment right there. Okay, you see, I have to make some adjustments as I go. All right, and that would be the extension of the tail. Okay. I'm thinking of moving it a little bit right here so that I can extend the tail. Is that okay? Okay. I'm gonna get my... Sorry guys, you see, as I told you, I will definitely commit a mistake. Okay. And it's fine. I have to make a little bit of adjustment right here because I was trying to make it on the center. Okay, let's try to change it. So you can see now that I really do this on the spot. As much as possible, I want to create it right in front of you from scratch. So I'm moving the head a little bit closer to the left side, to the right side, so that I give space for the tail because I'm cutting it. I love cropping my paintings. Like I love cropping the shape of my subjects because it just gives that dramatic effect. However, for the bird, I really want to emphasize as well the tail of this parrot because I think it's one of their most beautiful parts. Okay. Okay. Okay, I have to make a little bit of, okay, like that. Mhm. And then I have to make some corrections. We're just in the sketch part, but for me, the sketch is actually the most important part and probably the hardest part of painting because it just um, it gives or it provides the skeleton, the framework of the painting. I hope that makes sense. Without the sketch, and if you just try to paint straight away, you probably would lose proportion and all that necessary uh, like SOPs when it comes to doing a painting. So I'm just trying to sketch the claw, okay, something like that. Okay, but I'm just waiting for this to dry. Maybe I can paint over it. There you go. So I just made it a little longer. Okay, the tail. All right, just like that. Okay, and right here. Okay, will be the second claw. I'm calling it claw. Correct me if I'm wrong, okay? If it's not claw, if it's not the proper term for that, just let me know in the comment section below. Okay. So basically, that would be the shape of this parrot. Okay. All right. Okay, now I think some areas are already dry that we can paint over them. Okay. But since we're waiting for some areas to dry, let's just first do the wooden part. Let's start with some highlights. We're gonna highlight this part with some white, but I did not wash my brush, so the other colors will be there. We'll be using our palette knife for the wood so that, we create that patterns or texture of the wood. I'm gonna add tiny bit of brown. And remember that this is a piece of wood, so you don't have to be too um, perfect when it comes to doing this. It should actually not be perfect. I'm gonna dab onto my black. Let's try to create some patterns. I'm adding some black. This is very preliminary. I'm gonna go back to this later. We're just doing this because we're waiting for some areas to dry. So in order not to just waste time, let's start doing some details. Let's maximize our time. Okay, I'm gonna dab on again to my gray. Oops, that's too much white. I'm just gonna add. Okay, later this area will make sense. For now, let's just play. Okay, and under the claw, let's color it with some black. We will detail the claw. I don't want to call it feet because this is not feet. I don't know, is it feet or claw? I'm so conscious about the term because I don't want to give my viewers the wrong terms. I should have researched. I should have researched. But when you're painting, uh, but I'm a painter, I'm not a teacher of science. So it's not really what's in my mind when I'm painting. But then again, correct me if I'm wrong. I am very much open to hearing the correct term if it's not the claw. Because I remember chicken feet, right? It's called feet, and chicken is a bird. So is it correct to call this feet as well? I'm gonna add some browns, okay, while waiting for some areas to dry. And I'm gonna add tiny bit of yellow, okay, to my brown. Okay, and then a little bit of gray color. All right. Okay, let's move on. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time on that. I'm gonna use my size 14 flat brush, and I'm gonna get my yellow. I'm gonna mix it with white, okay, and brown. And I'm gonna color this part directly with that color. I'm just so excited. And what I love about, parrots, um, I forgot to adjust this part. Sorry, guys. I really forgot to adjust this part. That's why my bird looks a little bit weird. There you go. So what I really love about parrots is that they're colorful. That's basically it. That's what I love about them. It's not the talking. You know what? The talking like creeps me out. I don't know why. Right? Like I don't know. For some reason, I find it really weird when an animal talks. They don't talk like human beings, but it's just weird for me. I don't know. Okay, this is the underpainting part two. We're trying to underpaint now the bird. Okay, if your yellow is too transparent, you can add white to that. I'm gonna dab onto my white. I'm gonna add a little bit of white all the way up or on this area. So as I move up to the body, towards the face or the head of the bird, I'm gonna use more white. Okay, and right here, you can definitely paint over the sketch line. Okay, it's a little bit still wet right there. I can feel it, like my brush is getting a little bit sticky, but I can definitely work on it. Okay, more white. And then, not washing my brush, I'm gonna dab onto my Sap Green and just directly apply that color here. Okay, again, Sap. Silhouette. Did I mention that we'll be using a little bit of primary blue? If not, we'll just get ready with your primary blue. We'll be using that later. Just a little bit of that color. Not too much. Just a little bit of highlighting with blue. Okay. I'm going to add a tiny bit of yellow to the existing green so that I create a little bit of yellow-green color right here. All right, just like that. Okay, now using green still, okay, I'm just gonna color the tail. That tail actually extends like way farther than this one. But you know me and my cropping style, I usually would crop. Okay. I don't want to paint whole subjects. It should look like you're looking at a window and the subject is very near you. That's why you see it as more of crop more than the whole thing. I hope that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna add tiny bit of yellow just to complete the look right here. Okay, it's really good. Okay, green as well. You see, I'm not really washing my brush, mixing it with a little bit of yellow. Actually, more yellow. Let's do more yellow. And it should be right here on the head. I'm gonna make a little bit of adjustment. I think I made it too high. Yeah, like that, okay? Okay, like this. Okay, I'm gonna dab onto my white. And I'm using white quite heavily on this part. Try to blend as well. You can use your brush to blend, but I love using my fingers when it comes to blending. Not all the time, but most of the time. Okay. Sometimes I just use my brush. It depends, okay? For fur, I usually use my palette knife in creating fur. So we'll be using that later. And we will highlight this part, later, when the paint is really, really dry, that we can paint over it, much safer without smudging. I'm gonna dab onto my white again, just to, like the neckline. I call it neckline. I'm using terms that are not probably scientifically correct, but make sense in common language. So I'm just gonna make a little bit of adjustment right here. Okay, yeah, like that. Okay, again, pure white, just around this area. Okay, and then a little bit of yellow. Oops. Okay. Yellow color down here. And on the leg, now I'm calling it legs, on this area. Right. Okay, now I'm gonna change my brush. I'm having a hard time with the thick brush. I'm gonna use a small brush. I'm gonna dab onto my black again. And I'm gonna do some definition by doing some outlines. I'm gonna outline the wing. Okay, like this. A little bit of outline like that, okay? And the neck. Okay, like that. Did I mention that I'll be using a little bit of red? Oh my God, I did not. I don't think I mentioned that. I'm so sorry. So we'll be using red for the beak, okay? And in fact, I'll be using it now. I actually prepared the colors. It's just that I did not open them yet and place it on my palette because I won't be using it at the early stage of my sketching. So get yourselves the red color. And again, I'm not washing my brush. I'm just getting red, pure red, and I'm gonna color the beak. I hope you can see that. Okay, it's quite dark. Anyway, this is the underpainting process. So I'm just gonna first paint it with red, and later we'll do a little bit of highlighting it with some pink color. So I'm painting over the sketch line already. Okay, like that. Okay. Just, we're not going to use too much red. All right. Okay. I'm gonna dab onto my white and without washing my brush. Let's just create a little bit of detailing here on the beak portion. A little bit of adjustment right there. You know, just because I've already sketched it doesn't mean I cannot change it. So adjustments, as I mentioned during the intro, will be inevitable if you are just freehanding everything. Okay. Then I'm gonna use the light red color by adding, or pink, by adding some white to it, and then I'm gonna highlight the right side of the beak to give it a suggestion of where the light is coming, meaning the light is coming from the right side of the bird. A bit of highlights in there. Okay, now I'm gonna dab onto my black. And let's just re-emphasize this. Okay, like that. Okay. And using the black color, I'm going to reshape it just to clean this portion. All right, just like that. Maybe right here as well, just to clean that. Mhm. Okay, like that. And I'm gonna wait for it to dry a bit so that I can do some more detailing using my black again. Just sketch a little bit of detail like that. Gonna get a little more brush, cleaner brush. Gonna dab onto my white. Now let's go back to the body. And I'm just gonna highlight the this portion of the parrot's body using white. And it's just like dry brushing. I'm gonna use my white color as is and without wetting my brush even. I'm gonna use some dry brushing technique. So it's like this. Use white. Okay. And here. Just use your pure white. Okay. And if by accident your color mixes with another color, along the way, it's okay. Okay, as long as you can definitely see the white color more dominantly. What should be the most dominant color at this time? Again, just use the dry brushing technique and we'll glaze over this later. For now, we're in effect highlighting it. Okay, again, white. Okay, Also, I think this area is also dry. I don't know. Maybe not that dry, but I'm just gonna go for it. Go for it anyway. Like that. Okay, now using white, I can now go to the. Ooh, it's still wet. It's still wet, but it's okay. Just highlight it. You can hear my neighbor's dog. Okay, let me see. Okay, so yeah, it's good. It's good. Let's proceed to getting our blue. Okay, I actually prepared blue. However, I forgot to mention that we'll be using that. And as I mentioned, the colors that I'll be using or I'm using now will be listed in the description box below. So I'm dabbing onto my primary blue without washing my brush. And I'm going to add tiny bit of brown to that so that I tone down the blueness of the blue color. And I'm just going to go and make this area blue. So you know how I love, how parrots look like. They're very colorful. And I think they're the most colorful birds out there. Okay. And I'm gonna dab onto my green. So it's like blue green or turquoise color. And I'm gonna use that on, certain areas. Okay. Even on the head part. Okay. Very lightly though. Don't overdo the bluing of this area. So noisy outside, street noise. And it's actually raining, but people are still outside. Okay. On the neck area. Very light. Okay, I think I overdid this blue. I'm just gonna cover that with some white. It's okay. Okay, and using some green color, let's make this parrot really, really lively looking. And a little bit of that. Okay, again, some blue and brown. Don't overdo the browning of the blue. We still want the blue color. We just want it toned down. And I'm just gonna go and create some like negative space right here and also some dimension. I'm gonna use some dark blue and using my black. Again, I'm not washing my brush. Let's create some folds right there. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get my yellow green. I'm gonna add white. I'm not washing my brush. Okay, I keep saying that so that you know when to wash your brush. Let's highlight the tail. Okay, like that. Right. Gonna add a little bit of yellow uh, around the neck area. Oops, it is still wet, but it's okay. Okay, again, let's just separate the body from the from the feet. Okay, and I might do a little bit of adjustment right here because I feel like I made the legs bigger. Okay, I'm just gonna dab onto my black color. Let's make some adjustment here. Also try to, this is your opportunity to correct, any mistake. Okay, like that. Just try to separate the bird from the wood part. Okay, now using my black again, I'm gonna slightly touch on the feathers to create some fluffiness. So we're going to suggest layers of feathers by actually outlining some areas, adding some negative space. Okay, I'm gonna dab onto my green, okay, dark green. So you can add brown or black, depends. And let's create some detailing right here because we're not yet done with this part. Okay, like that. I'm gonna get my white. Let's create detail like that. Okay. Like that. Okay. Now using my black or dark color, let's just make some definition again. Okay, like that. He's separating each part from the others. You can clean again. Just try to make this area cleaner. All right. Now I can use my fan brush. So I'm gonna use my fan brush in order for me to create more feather details. So I'm gonna use my fan brush, an old fan brush of mine. I'm gonna dab onto my white. Okay, I'm gonna dab onto my white with a little bit of yellow. So it's like light yellow. And I'm gonna start, okay, creating some details like this. So by using your fan brush, you actually create brush strokes that you probably would not have achieved or you would not achieve if you're just using an ordinary brush like this. So slightly touching on this area as well. Okay, like that. Okay, I'm gonna get my white, pure white. Let's mix. Oops, I accidentally dab onto my black. Oh my gosh. It's okay. Okay, now I'm gonna dab onto my blue and white. So blue and white, it's light blue. Now let's create some detailing on the head. Okay. You want to see some paints that are outside the line as well to make the bird look more realistic. You don't want it to look like cartoonish. Kind of want to suggest some fluffiness right there. It's not perfectly like shaped. It should look like, it has fur. Sorry, not fur, feathers. Fur is for the other pets. Okay, I'm gonna use some gray. So I'm gonna use some green, okay, and black, and yeah, more green. So it's like dark green. It's not really, really gray, but the greeny color has already been toned down so much. Okay, that's not the color that I want. I need a darker gray. And darker green. I'm gonna color this area to give it, dimension, like under here. And we really haven't done the foot, or the sorry, the feet of this bird. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna switch brush now. I'm gonna switch to, before we do the feet, because I don't wanna uh, I don't wanna do that first. I'm gonna dab onto my white again, and then create some more feather details right here, like that. So I'm just using pure white. And also right here. Okay, and then pure white right here. Just to highlight the beak. Okay, like that. I'm gonna get my yellow. Actually, I should have gotten pure yellow. We should not mix it with white. We just want pure yellow this time. And I'm gonna use my finger to just apply some yellow color on the head or on the face. Okay, like that. Now I'm gonna add white to my yellow. It's a little bit of brightness. Okay, and then again, some yellow and white. just to highlight this part. Okay, and blue and white. Highlighting. Okay, more blue. I don't see any blue in there. Okay, there you go. Like that. Okay. And let's create some fur detailing. Okay, now let's move on to the feet of the bird. Gonna get my blue and black and white. So it's like bluish grayish color. Okay. And we will make some adjustments if necessary. For now, let's just use those colors. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna get my gray. And then brown and white just for detailing. Okay. Gonna get my black. It's not really the most exciting part, you know. This part, um, yeah, for me, it's not really the most exciting part. Let me know if you think otherwise. But it should be, uh, suggestive of what an actual feet are. So we're gonna do our best, okay? Dab onto my white again. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, now using some dark colors, we're gonna darken the portion under the feet. Okay, so that it is consistent with shadow and of course dimension, like that. I'm just gonna darken under that. Okay. Okay, like this. A little bit of brown. Okay. Okay, now let's again use some white, pure white color, so that we can highlight some areas. And soften the highlights. Okay, it's still wet. Trying to highlight it. Okay, I'm gonna wait for this to dry. I don't want to smudge anymore. I'm gonna use some white color right under the body. Okay, it's still wet again. Okay, now I'm gonna use more light blue right here, highlighting it light blue color with a little bit of green, so it's like turquoise. So here, and here, okay. A little bit of markings right there. Okay. And I'm gonna wash my brush out. I'm gonna use pure yellow again, just go around this area. Because when I first apply the pure yellow in there, it's still wet. Okay, like that. Then I'm gonna use pure white without washing my brush. I'm just going to make this body a little more big. Yeah, like that. A little bit of adjustment right there. Okay, and then more yellowy color right here. And then I'm gonna add tiny bit of brown to my yellow so that it's quite orangey. You know, like a stronger version of yellow. And I'm just gonna lightly touch right here under. Okay, and then right here as well. We're gonna add yellow color right there. And then a little bit of white just to highlight. Yeah, like that. Okay, more highlights. All right. Okay, now let's go back to using our fan brush. So using my fan brush, I'm going to dab onto my yellow-green color. Okay, make sure that you remove the excess water so that you can create some texture. Like that. And slightly make some short brush strokes like this just to make it more like realistic. Okay, slightly touching on this area as well. Just slightly, doesn't have to be too prominent. Okay, like that. Gonna dab onto my white. Okay, like this. Let me see. Okay. Now I'm gonna do the eye. We haven't sketched the eye, as you probably have noticed. So I'm gonna use a very pointy brush. Do I have a pointy brush? Hold on. Do I have a pointy brush? Yeah. Okay. I hope this works. It's quite ruined already, but I'm gonna do my best to just do it. Okay, I'm gonna dab onto my red and white to create that pinky color. So I'm gonna create a little bit of pinky color, and I'm gonna do the eye. Okay, the eye should be right here at the end. Okay, like here. So I'm just gonna draw a circle. It's a very small circle. Okay, just like that. Then I'm gonna dab onto my red. You can add brown so that it's dark red. And just do the same thing, go around it, make another layer of red. Make another layer of circle, okay, like that. And then just adjust it, okay, like that. All right. Okay, great. Now I'm gonna dab onto my black using the same pointy brush that I have here. Let's create some, okay, it's too light. Okay, again, circle inside the circle. Okay, just like that. And then I'm gonna wash my brush out and dab onto, oops, to my, okay, my brushes are not cooperating at the moment. I'm gonna dab onto my blue, light blue color. And I'm gonna use that blue color inside the eye. Okay, very carefully. Like that. Okay. All right, just like that. Okay. I'm gonna wait for that to dry a bit because I'm gonna add white, and I don't want the white to be contaminated again. Okay. I'm gonna go and correct some areas that I see need correcting. So I'm gonna have to make a little bit of pinky adjustment, pink colors, and then some red, like tiny bit of red going on here. Right here. Like that. And we want it to be more like gradient. Okay. So I'm gonna go and create some more dark red. Okay, like that. Okay. And then some white again, dry brushing it. Okay. Some more white. Just to highlight it. More highlights. More highlights using white. Okay, now using white, okay, we're going to make some blurring effect right here. Okay, like that. Just glaze over that area, making it more blurry. Like here. Just glaze it with white using dry brushing technique. Because again, the light is coming from the right side. So if we, okay, like that. Just continue. Okay, and then I forgot that I should make a tiny separation line right here. Very subtle. I should have used black. Why am I using brown? I'm just gonna apply a little bit of gray color. Okay. I told you that I'll be using my palette knife, right? Later. Okay. And some dark markings, yeah, to make it more realistic. Okay. More wood effects. Now I'm gonna use my palette knife. And I'm gonna use the back of my super like overused palette knife. I'm gonna dab onto my brown and white, probably black as well, just to add more detailing on the wood. This is not really necessary, but I think it's gonna add a little bit of touch to it that, you know, kind of interesting. White. So just move it in a diagonal direction. Okay, like that. Okay, just a little bit of touch to it. Now that the eye is already dry, remember we were waiting for that to dry out. So I'm gonna go and get my white using a very tiny brush. And let's just go around the eye again. Okay, inside. All right, it's just pure white. Like that. Can add a little bit of touch of white in there. And a little bit of pinky color going on. Now using black again, let's just go around the eye again. I keep saying again. Okay, a very tiny detail. Like that. Also the mouth. Okay, like that. Okay. I just adjusted it a bit. I kind of like this one. Okay, like that. And let's also, let's do the blurring again. So I'm just going to blur a little bit of, down here. So I'm going to use white. And kind of lost the shape of it. Blur. A little more detailing. Mhm. I originally thought of using my palette knife for the feathers, but I don't think I'll be needing that step anymore. And apply some light blue color right here on the head. Okay. A little bit of blue on the wood, not because it's blue, but because we want some coherence, in the painting. Okay, I really like this one. Wow. It seems like I'm inspired or something. Right. I kind of like it. Again, apply a little bit of gradient effect. Mhm. Okay. Wow. This is nice. Very nice. So I'm going to sign this now. I think we're done. So I'm going to sign it. And I'm going to sign like a little bit unusually right here. Okay. And we're finished. Yeah, yeah. I really like this one. And I hope you enjoy that one, guys. And I'm going to link in the description box below some other parrot paintings or bird painting tutorials that I've done in the past so that you can choose from among them. And if you're painting along with me, let me know in the comment section below. And if you're just watching, let me know still. And I hope you enjoy this one. See you in the next one, guys. Bye. Mwah. Mwah. Mm. Love you.